Hi guys, good evening. Hi Deepak, hi Namit, hi David, hi Chris, hi Srini. Good evening everyone. Hope you all had a great day. I was in good profit this morning and then Amazon screwed me down and AMD. So I posted the links everywhere. Let me just share the entire screen now and get started. Hi Meher, hi Shri. So let's see today's sheet first. We kind of held this 4685 strongly. And triple Q, it started well today with 399.71, which was our target. It achieved that. Apple did 154. It was good. Affirm did 159. Bang on, it did that. Let me just show it to you. Because I closed Affirm on the high 159. It did. Apple did 155. My target was 154.45. It did that. AMD did 155 almost. So I would count that. Amazon again failed 35.87, but closed above this. BA came to this, hit the stop loss and I was out. Baba never started. It went down big. Facebook started, went to 350.47, but not 100%. IWM failed. Microsoft never came in this area, 334. Netflix went to make 700, but did not capitalize. Nvidia almost came to 289 short. So yes, it should be good. PayPal never triggered. Roblox is 127 now. So it worked. Roku was a disappointment. It never worked and went on to make 244. Shop, I didn't check. Tesla made 1117. It worked. Lucid made 62 in the pre-market. And I did not trade Lucid today. So all in all, it was a good day. If you were able to capture any one good trade, that's what I'm saying. I was in good profit, but I did not book Amazon. I was greedy and then I gave back. So let me start with my daily inside day scan. And I was looking at open high, LMT, XPV, and RKT. So it's not much, but let's do the inside days. So Oracle, Shop, Team, Snap, W. So I want to include SPY inside day. And this is again from my watch list, which I shared. Shop inside day, Team, Snap, XPV, W, Python, I don't want, QS. I don't know. So these were the tickers which we can discuss. I want to replace a couple of them. I want to get rid of Roku. It's a sheer waste. Instead, I can introduce Team. I want to get rid of PayPal. I can introduce W. I do want to include Moderna. Twilio. Twilio, I can get rid of Square and introduce Twilio. I don't want to include IWM. So give me a ticker which we should include. Let me just check on Black Box if we have any bullish flow for something, or bearish flow. Let me check here if I can get anything about 200,000. Somebody bought Amazon 3550 call right at the last minute. Moderna, Tesla, Lucid, Nvidia. FedEx, I can include FedEx, but FedEx is slow. It has filled the gap, and I wanted to include a company which we can short in terms of crude, because crude is actually going down now. Disney is like, I won't even touch Disney right now. Google, yes, Google is good. So instead of, I'll have all the big companies. Okay, I'll add Google here. I think we have a good list now. Okay, let's start. Vijay, at least look in the screen. I already have Roblox. Baidu, like Baba Baidu, they work hand to hand. I have enough tickers for now. We can discuss all these tickers maybe in the later half when we interact. So hi and welcome. Good evening, everyone. Hope you had a good day. If not, then don't lose your sleep over it. Go fresh in the morning, pick one good trade and make money. If you lost 10,000, it's okay. Start by making 2,000, 3,000, cover it up, and then you'll be fine. You need more confidence in placing a put. Chris, I love shorts. I used to be a bear, but since Fed started bumping, I learned that there's no point fighting the Fed. There's no point fighting the stimulus. So I've learned hard way. So now I short when I'm only sure. So yes, it needs confidence to short in this market. So let me start from my ES view. ES is making an inside day right here. It's going to be very tight. And as we discussed yesterday, as we come closer to the monthly expiry, there are some extreme moves which are coming or which happened in the past as well. Again, I want to discuss two aspects here. And this is a little macroeconomic fundamental aspect. If you understand this, you will appreciate what I'm going to tell you. We have two stimulus. One is FOMC, which is 120 billion. Then we have ECB. ECB has two programs. One is 80 billion and one is 40 billion. This has some cut, like 10 billion. This is still running free. This is running at 105 billion. There's a $15 billion cut. So practically this is at 70 billion. This is at 105 billion and 40 billion continuation. This money is still coming into the market. You can add the total per month. They are directly, indirectly coming into the equity market. And once this money comes, you know market is going to get pumped. Market is not worrying about any valuation. You have seen the recent IPOs where there's zero sales and the companies are valued at more than $150 billion. That is absolutely ridiculous. Now, you may call it anything, but whoever I'm in touch with or the people who are in the Wall Street at higher ends, whoever I know, they are kind of talking about that they're getting nervous with all this. They are getting nervous with two aspects: inflation and fake asset valuations. Now they are still getting pumped, so these valuation can still go higher and higher. Thursday and Friday will be really, really important because I have seen the Fed report. Usually around the monthly expiry, they push about $60 billion. And that's why if you have seen in the past, around the monthly expiries, we have spikes, massive spikes on the ES. Throughout the week, it's tight, tight, and tight. But around the last day or half, you get a massive spike. If we do not get that spike this time, that will be an indicator that yes, Fed has started unwinding itself. Tapering is cutting this, unwinding is selling its current. They'll still be pumping, but they'll be unwinding as well. Meaning whatever bond programs they have, whatever corporate debt they have, they'll start to sell and ease off the balance sheet. Plus, there's going to be a new FOMC chairman, Fed chairman, which is going to be elected. Right now, everybody is suggesting Jerome Powell, but let's see. That is also going to have a good impact on the market. So be careful. If you do not want to trade tomorrow, totally fine. I'll be like 80 to 90% just watching the market tomorrow. I'll not be testing my trades. It's better to just avoid the market for a day and wait and see what is happening. Otherwise, you will see spike in the morning and by the afternoon, it will go down and then you will see a spike and then it will go down again. It will be very choppy tomorrow. But once you have that pump, if this pump comes, we will definitely test 47.70. If this pump doesn't come, we are going down. So the scale of tapering may not come or may be offset by unwinding. Deepak, I don't know what's your information, but I read Fed and I've subscribed to Fed data and I pay more than $2,000 for that. So I'm talking and reading from the facts. All right, so this is something which I am I was interested to share. So now inside days usually bring back volatility. So if we add some volume profile here before we evaluate where we can see the next move, because practically we are in the same zone as of now. You see, if we slide below 4668, there's hardly any area to support it. That's why I'm suggesting be careful. If it breaks 4688, it will be fast and quick. Quick decline all the way to 4581. That's about 100 points from here. Okay. Nobody's going to tell you to go short or go long. It should be your own decision. But I'm just showing you the fact that there's hardly any transactional volume here. If you lose traction here, the buying pressure, that's why you see 4685 today. Every time it was trying to go down 4685, there was some buying pressure. But once you break down here, there's hardly any buying pressure. So you will see a quick slide. Second thing, which I don't like to assume, but tell me if you're looking at the same thing on my annotations. This is coming like an M pattern. Do you think M is double top? And this M was in couple of stocks. It was in Roku, it was in Moderna, but I don't expect that kind of behavior here because the depth here is not too much as compared to the length. If it was something like here and then moved up, I would have considered it as a double top. But still, it's process which is happening. So tomorrow and Friday, just want to make sure that we break up and go like this. If we not, then we are going to cool off. So based on this fundamental discussion, I want to make some levels. So I'm going to keep my stance as neutral. And now I will only be buying on index above this level. My stop loss will be 4685, pretty confined. And target will be here. And this time I'm just giving 40% to this because I want to see. On the short side, I am going to short below 4685 now. And my stop loss will be this here. See, one more important thing. Close here was 4696. Open here was 4696. Whenever they are same, then there's some level of like directional constraint. So I will keep 4696 as my stop loss. And let me just keep the stop loss here for 4696 as well. And my target will be 4668, 4581, and 60%. So I'm not saying that market cannot go higher. I'm saying I'll be jumping onto the market when it goes up. So still there is some gap for it to cross that bridge. And the break point is now 4685. To cross the bridge, we need to cover 4711, this area. If we break out of this, it makes sense to be long. But if it doesn't, then it's better to wait and watch. Triple Q, as I said yesterday, out of all the indexes, Triple Q is still the strongest. But again, it went here to the top of the box, which is 319 and 57, could not hold and made a doji. Again, it's setting up for a potential evening star. But again, once market opens, everything can change. If we have a red candle like this, this will be an evening star. See why I'm suggesting evening star or morning star. Yesterday, I told you that Tesla is making a morning star. It made a massive move, like $60, $70. So now if we have any move down below the low of today, it can be marked as an evening star. If we break above this area, like this piece, half of it, and if we hold that and go long, then it is not an evening star anymore. it contradicts the pattern and then we'll have a move on the higher side. So QQQ, I'm just going to mark this as neutral to, I'll also add two, come on, I'll add 2 rows for it just to make sure that. So positive buying range is still this, and 402, 413, 414. Once we break this, we'll come and face the challenge right here. So 414 now, that target is moving far and far. Okay. And even if I do Elliott waves, I think this, I may need to update these levels. I may need to add more levels here. Yeah, I need to add them. Let me just remove this previous level. Add one more level. So level is 403. Let me just make sure the numbers are correct. 350.32, 382.71. 382.71. This is 350.32. And you guys, whenever you're doing this, make sure you are fixing it to the point. Once you start doing that, you will see that yes, the levels which are coming are really, really proper. So let me just okay this. And lastly, I want to check the low here, which is 319. No, 316. So 316. So now my levels are set. I can check it again. So 391, 399, and 402.74. So 402.74. This is the QQQ positive trade. And I'm going to call a short as well for QQQ. And on the short side, if we break below this area now, which is 392.92, the red one, that's a confirmation on short. And we will test 383, which is the 34 EMA. We have a couple of levels, 389.71 in the past, but they may no longer give you support now because EMA has moved up. So the values of Fibonacci may not act. So anytime it goes below 392.93, just 393, that will be a confirmation on my short side. Sell below 393. My stop loss will be 394. Target will be, come on, target will be 383.67 in straight line. Again, I'm going to give it 40% and triple Q on 60%. Nvidia has posted really good numbers in the after hours and it's moving up. But let's see if it holds that move or it gives back. Apple, I was super positive for the last couple of days. I was saying that it's coming for a breakout. Finally, it did. And it came all the way, tested 140, 154.45 and closed right there. Now, if you want to go long, 153.1 should be a stop loss. This was a resistance in the past. Now this should act as a stop loss. So if you have a long position in Apple, I'm going to keep my stop loss as 153.11. And I'll be interested to buy this above 154.45. And if it goes above 154.45, this gives me a window of some stop loss, or in case it gives back, like if I have to add 10 lots, right? I would add 5 lots here at 145.54. And in case my trade doesn't work and it comes down here, I will come down and add 5 more, because market is choppy. So I'm not going to go and add 100% at the beginning. I'm going to keep it 50% here, 50% here, and keep a strict stop loss of 153.11 on the 30-minute close. Okay, and I'll be looking at all-time highs for Apple, 155, 157. And as I said previously, Apple has a target of 158 and 167 as well. So just keep an eye on Apple. It's going to be 155, 45, and 158. I'm still counting 70% on Apple. And you saw Apple was red, green, and market was flat to red. A firm almost hit my target today, gave you a perfect entry, made a doji, a perfect gravestone doji, where open was 151.67 and close was 151.72. When both are equal, it means they were not sure what to do, but it respected the level, it went there. Now, if it doesn't hold above 152.28, comes back, is going to make a evening star. So I'm just going to reduce my 70% in a firm to 60%, because I want to be light on this. Again, I want to add above 152.28 because it closed, so the value has come down, and 159 is again the target. AMD, no, I'm not going to call this buy the dip. AMD, I wanted to have AMD break out above 155 today. I wanted it to do that. But again, you see it came all the way here and tested. Again, bottom, it came to 149.60, tested it, closed below the long-term resistance line. So either it breaks above 155 now to give me a good setup, or it breaks below 149.50, because it has some gaps between the candles and the EMA, and that needs to be filled. And it was facing some level of selling pressure. So I am not going to include AMD in my list. I will better get it off, because either it needs to break above 154 area, and then I have targets for it which are at 180, or it needs to just die down here, come back at 141, 142 area, and great. So I'll just keep a very neutral prospect on AMD. I'm gonna just say buy. I'll just keep this pretty safe. Buy in this area and 155 to 160 maybe. And I'm giving it a neutral view. And once the stop loss hits in any side, it changes the direction. So make sure you know what you're doing in terms of direction. Amazon, like every day it starts finding a good momentum and then it gives back. Again, it started higher, but it's able to manage a closing above 35.43 area for last couple of days. So if there is going to be a pump, this is a stock which will be pumped. So you want to risk, you want to take a shot, this is the best bet on Amazon. Everything is here is same, buy above this range. These are the targets. I'm still calling it 60% because it's there in 60%. I may want to add some new levels. I can try that. Let me just cancel the right extensions. So these levels are still there. Let me add one more level here. From here all the way here. Let me correct the numbers. This is 35.45, 31.76, and this one 34.79. This is 32.73. Okay, let me just fix these numbers. $31.76.25. And like anybody who wants to learn Fibonacci, you can just check. I am taking Fibonacci off my regression channels. And this one is 32.73.32. Make sure you always correct your numbers. Then you will have much more confidence. Like even $1 in Amazon. And you see, I just did this in front of you. Look at the magic. One time failed, closed, failed, failed, tested, failed, failed. So this 35.76 is acting as a perfect resistance. And I picked it up from right here. So this is working beautifully according to that. So now if we break out of 35.76, you will have a massive move to 37.73, 37.63. So it's going to be a really, really good move in Amazon. So I'm just going to keep myself tight and moving my stop loss to 35.11, which I don't think so we're going to hit, but it's better to move up to the stop losses. Boeing could be the second stock if we have a Fed stimulus thing. It's like 1 to 3 days. It's holding this 225 area, and there was a gap right here. It almost filled the gap. Still, there's like few cents gap, but I will call this as completion of the gap, and it managed to held above this. Plus, the 12 EMAs are higher. So it should continue its traction towards 239. Anytime here it comes into this zone, 225, it should move. Just because it has selling for last 2 days, I'm giving it a 60%. Baba had some tremendous sell-off today. I'm not sure why. I was trying to understand why what happened here. But this made a pattern which is totally bearish. And if I add the volume here, the volume is not tremendous. It is still there. It's 35.11 Amazon stop loss. Corrected. Thank you, Vikrant. And target will be 37.63. So Baba has a bearish engulfing candle. Trend is tight, stop loss is here. So if you have to take a bet, this is the highest risk reward. Stop loss is pretty small here. Stop loss is 159, 159.50 roughly. And because it has earnings tomorrow, I don't know what will happen. Usually Baba doesn't move much, but it has lost so much, it might give you a move. So buy above 165 if you get 165.30. Keep a stop loss of 159.50, and these will be the targets. And I'm calling it still 70%, but in neutral, because earnings are earnings. If it goes below 159, I will not even touch it. I will not even test it. Yes, I know Baba earnings are tomorrow morning, and they'll be pre-market. Facebook is consolidating. It's around that area. It needs to break above 342.90. It's struggling around this area. The dump was there, but the volume was less. So this is a stock which will run if the market shows slightly positive momentum along with Amazon and Apple. So don't rule out Facebook. Its stop loss is pretty small, 338, 339, and has good open area to run. So there's nothing changed in Facebook. Everything else is here. See, FedEx, we started discussing around 226, 229, and I gave you a target of 254. It came all the way to 254, filled the gap, and is getting rejected. Tested the 12 EMA to the point close around it, and I don't think it's going to hold. I'll be a seller in FedEx. Sell below right here, which is 247. Stop loss is 250.25. Target is 242. 242, 40, and 235. 235, 40. So it's a short candidate because Dow Jones is weak. So any stock which is weak in Dow Jones, I'll prefer to short that. Moving on to Microsoft. It never came, but again, like all these are making gravestone doji right on the top of their trend. If they have one more red candle, things can get really, really ugly. So I'll prefer to enter around 331, 332 area rather than jumping here. I'll not be making puts, but I'll be waiting to add around 334 with stop loss pretty tight of 333. It has potential 345 area, 350 area, but I want to buy the dip in Microsoft. I don't want to go and run it. Netflix broke out above this, had a close. Now it is one stock. If market is showing any weakness or anything, it may not go weak. If COVID cases are increasing, something is happening, you will find Netflix holding up. So now Netflix stop loss is increased to 687.68. Still, it needs to move up above 694 area. If it goes above 694, it should continue its momentum. So Netflix, I'm positive 694, and stop loss will be 687. Target is 727, and I'm still positive on this. Nvidia did had an excellent outcome, and it's like that's what I was talking in the afternoon with my friends, that I am not sure why it bounced off the 12 EMA. I was talking right before the close that why did it bounce? And I posted that in the Telegram, the Zoom link. It should not have bounced above the 12 EMA. So now it did bounce. It came all the way to 307, 308. Most likely tomorrow you will see some upgrades, but I still feel it will come down. So now I just want to take 314 as my area. If 314 is gone, then I will not, or in fact, 38 is gone, then I'll be not trading short on Nvidia. So I'm just giving it a neutral because for the last couple of days I was short, but I will still sell this below 308 or below 306.50. Stop loss will be 309, and I'm still open for it. And if it breaks 309, I'll be then positive. If it breaks 309, then it has potential for 323, 325 area. Then you have massive moves, but companies need some time to digest these kind of valuations. Nvidia is 307. It's fine. Like after hours and pre-market will be totally different with the real market. So let's see what happens tomorrow morning. If it breaks above 390, 309, I'll be out. Because I'm totally on cash. I don't have a single position open. That's the benefit I have. Then Moderna. This is my favorite company. I made good money in this. Moderna is getting some momentum. It needs to hold 237 and just buy it. Just buy this company. It will give you 256. So Moderna positive, stop loss is 236. Buy in range 242, 245. 245, target is 256, which is the 12 EMA and 288. It has filled the gap. 288. I'm confident on Moderna. Roadblocks did its target of 128 in the after hours. It's right here, 128. So I don't want to include Roblox anymore. It's again super expensive for me at this time. It's better if it comes around 118, 119, but buying them, they had an investor conference, so it's showing some strength. It can continue to move higher and higher, but I am little interested to buy this on a little dip around 121, 122 if I get that opportunity. If not, I will bypass this. Options for Roblox are really expensive at this time. You can see a very great momentum in Roblox. I have no doubts on that. Like 127, 128, 125, it's 29,000 volume with 7,000 open interest. Tomorrow it will be added. You might even see 130 very easily. If you are a risk taker, this is the stock which should. It's still positive. Buy above 125 if you want to. Stop loss is 121. Target is 130 now. If you want to take this, your call. I'm not touching Rootbox. I missed this train, so I'm not going to touch it. Team Atlassian. I need to make charts on this. The levels are so obsolete. And again, you all can watch how I'm drawing the levels. So this I'm not. This is my regression channel, which is here. I leave it here. Then I extend it to the right so that I can see the future direction as well. Now I need to pick up area to make Fibonacci. So I will just check where last time I got the support. This is the last time where I had the support, and I will draw that. And let's see if everything falls into place. This is there, and that's it. So let me just correct 310. Edit properties, 310. Then this one was 420.23. And this one is 375.5. It's getting rejected from this area. You see, 443.62, it came and acting as a support and resistance both. Everything fell in place. That's how you draw Fibonacci extensions. It's taking the support, bouncing in this area. 12 EMA is pretty close. It's getting consolidated. And if it breaks below 439, it can come to 430 with a stop loss of 443. So teams are a little neutral because I've not seen teams for a while. I'm just calling it neutral, but I'll be a seller below 439, stop loss of 443, target of 430, and 423.50. Again, I've not watched teams in a while, so I'll be just keeping an eye on it. 62. Shop is now below 1647, had a close, but this company usually moves a lot, but it can move in both the direction. Let me go back to the chart teams. This is the regression channel. Okay, and this is the Fibonacci extension. Regression channel, it was there since it was somewhere around 130 of 2019. I'm just using that regression channel and take the Fibonacci out of it. Okay, so Shopify, I still want to buy this company because this has positive momentum, but I want to buy above 1670 and stop loss here. So it needs to move 2% up to give me that move. And I'm just keeping it neutral because I want to buy that. Now it's coming down, so I'll be looking to add this here, 1600. If I can get 1600 with 1573, it will be better. Buy near 1600. 1573 as my stop loss. Target will be 1647, 1670. That's the Shopify. I'm just giving it a neutral view. Twilio could not hold on to that area. I was watching this and it made a bearish engulfing. So it's not good. Like there's no trade here in Twilio at this moment. If market is weak, this will be the first stock to go down. So if you want to short, you can short. But I'm not trading Twilio at this point of time. It doesn't make sense. It's just losing momentum and there are gap. There's no gap. Gaps is filled. There's a big gap which needs to be filled here. So let me just check on weekly candle how it is showing. Weekly candle, it has made inverted, it has made head and shoulders. It has made head and shoulders. It's holding onto that neckline. This is, I was looking for a trade up of 310, but it could not hold on to that. So it's not a trade for me. In case of Twilio, no trade. Only trade is if it holds above 308.71, only then. But stop loss will be 301. If somebody wants to trade Twilio, it's their take, but it's not my choice. Buy above 308.71, 301.67 is the stop loss. Target is 321. I am not going to trade Twilio. Tesla had a morning star and it was a perfect example of a morning star. But again, you see it closed right on that channel. And these channels are not going away. That's why I keep the right extension. So now stop loss will move to 1072. Go long if you get an opportunity. Targets are still open. 1146. And I'm confident on this. Lucid Motors. This company, I was more happy to add it here. I'm still holding my long-term January options. I'm not going to sell them. But I want it to come down to 44, 45 so that I can add more. Right now, it's not a trade which I want to choose. Instead, I can pick up Google because we were discussing Google. So Lucid Motors, I'm out. Google, I'm in. Google is definitely confused what to do. It's making a flag. Right here. If you want to make this as a flag, it's doing that. So it's a triangle. It's coming to an area where it can break out or break down. So right now, looking at the market, looking at QQQ, there's high possibility this breaks up from the higher side. Stop loss is pretty small now, 29.40. Can try long here on Google. $29.40. Target will be 3,012. If it runs, it will run. 3,012. And buy near 29.50, 29.60. So shop has inside day. It has inside day because it has a massive move. Team has inside day. Again, they both have massive moves. ES had inside day. All these companies have inside day. Just gonna call neutral, color it properly. So this is it from me. I can share my Zoom, but I'll be only taking 15 minutes because I'm a little exhausted today. So let me share the link. You can all join and we can discuss. The forum is open. You can all come in. I posted the link. Hi, Harry. If you want to speak, just make sure that you raise your hand and then we can discuss. If you want to speak, just make sure that you raise. HD. HD is non-stop. It's coming to that area where it has seen resistance. It's holding onto that area. But again, if market gets a little weak, it might come down because Dow Jones stocks. Guys, please mute yourself if you're not speaking. I don't know how many times I have to repeat this. It's a simple decorum which you need to manage. That's the only thing I expect. This area, if it holds, it's okay. 392, 393 area. But if it breaks below this, it might ease off. I will not call that as a sell, but it might ease off and let EMA catch up. So they may meet somewhere here. So in order for it to manage the momentum, it needs to hold 393. Target, they gave a bad forecast regarding the margins and then it went below 254. It can go down further. It can easily go down further. And again, I'm just sharing the fact Dow Jones is weak, Nasdaq is still strong, IWM is weak, SPY is neutral. So if market has to lead the fall, Target, HD, all the Dow Jones companies, Caterpillar, they will be the first one to give up. So keep an eye on 254. Below this, it can go bad. What is SEDG? Solar Edge. It's kind of making a double top here. Let me just check on weekly. It needs to break above 377. Then it can go higher. But if it's not able to break 377, it might give back. And usually a double top. This is what I was talking about, the other ticker. I don't remember the name, but we were discussing that the length here is deeper. If it fails here, it will come all the way down here. Right now, these companies are pumped because of the infra plan that yes, they are going to get massive money, this and that. But I have serious doubts on all of that. I don't know, but I have serious doubts on all of these companies. So I will just wait and watch. Target, I have just done ABB. And can you guys speak here? Anybody wants to speak? Anybody have any questions?
Hey, Naval, this is Saman.
I
Hey, buddy, quick question. Did you get a chance to talk about the banks going into the end of the year, and what do you think is going to happen? I know you've talked about it before, but do you think right now the XLF sector looks kind of weak to me? Do you see any input on that?
If you take my opinion, they're about to
Yeah,
go down big.
I know.
See, if you understand the fundamental, and this is for everybody who's on the call, banks have started to feel the pain. All of a sudden, you will see that interest rates moving up. Right now, the money you are spending by taking loans through through credit cards, easy money is going away. And Bank of America, JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs, they have started to feel the pain. And that's getting reflected in their stocks, like they're losing that momentum. JPM closed below 12 EMA after a long time. This is weekly candle. And it can come down to 157 and 150 and go below and fill the gap. So banking sector is going to be weak. That's why I'm saying next 2 days will be really, really interesting to see what is going to happen. Because once the unwinding factor comes into the picture, tech will see the mayhem. You may call whatever, but tech will see the flow you have never seen. In 2-3 weeks, you will see substantial cut downs on tech if the unwinding starts. Tomorrow will be really, really interesting. So that's why I'm just keeping my hands away from that market. I do not want to indulge in unnecessary trades. Better just watch, have a clarity, and then trade. So banks is one of the sectors which can go down big from here.
Cool. Appreciate it. Thanks, Bud.
So you are saying naval buy, so it will be moving to the tech, all the money from banks?
No. Tech will be the first one. Tech will be the ones to lose big amount of money.
Okay.
You will see QQQ falling. The nest. Let me just show you Nasdaq chart. This was QQQ, if I remember. No. We made M, right? We might come here and fail, and we're coming down. This will be the first support. This will be the second support. I spent initial 20 minutes just to explain this. So keep that in mind that yes, if we are going down, we are going down big. All that stimulus money which is pumped, if my understanding, like 60 billion should be pumped on Thursday/Friday. But if it gets offset by unwinding of bonds, you will see market going down. If there is no unwinding, market will go up. And you will see this very clearly.
How would it impact the 10-year yield?
They will jump.
But if it jumps, the banks should jump then, right?
No, banks risks. See, you have, if you go back 5 years, 10 years back, we are at extremely low level of yields. And banks were not valued at that level in the past. So just ignore that fact. Bank risk aversion is going to be a big role. If they have controlled and managed their risk while issuing the credit cards and all of that, which I have serious doubts, then you will see. Because 1 year back, if you want to buy a house, you want to buy a car, you want to buy anything, the easy money was available.
Right.
Inflation is getting higher. Market is getting tighter. People are not ready to go jobs. Shortage of staff. Inflation is just rising and rising.
Right.
People are like, there are rise in the salaries, but that's getting offsetted by the inflation. So end of the day, you have spent much more than you're going to earn. So that is going to be a problem.
Okay.
And we are at one stage in the market where we should take a break and see where it is going. Have a clarity and then make an informed decision out of it.
Yeah, it's a little indecision going on with the markets. Just gotta wait and watch.
Yes. PayPal, Roku, they are not good enough, Krishna. Not into them. Roku is such a pathetic stock. I've lost so much in Roku. Splunk. Splunk failed right here and then came all the way. I think they did an offering. I don't remember too much on Splunk. I think they did an offering and it came all the way to 136. 136.60 is an extremely important support area. If I right. If it holds this trend line, which is holding right now, it should be okay. You have some good support area, but if it doesn't, then I won't touch this Splunk. Dollar Tree, like Target and all these companies have earnings. Target posted a bad number. So Walmart is also down. I think they're pretty much done. But I would be much better if I can get them at 120. If I can get them at 120, that will be really, really amazing. Otherwise, they are expensive. They may still rally, but earnings are earnings. Going into Thanksgiving, you may see some bounce, but let's see. I am not sure on Dollar Tree at this moment.
What are your thoughts on Square? SQ.
I just removed it. It's in this zone 225, 240. It needs to break out or break down. It's not doing anything.
Okay. Is there any possibility it can go down?
It's in this range. It needs to break out or break down from this range.
Okay.
It's right in the middle, 233. $8 from 225 and $8 from 241.
Got it. Okay.
Jankish, there's nothing which will start tomorrow. I'm just saying you need to keep an eye that, and again, do not reverse my analysis. What I've said is market is all-time highs. A little unwinding from FOMC will offset the 60 billion stimulus program purchase, which they do around the expiry. If that gets offset, market will not find new money, and with the all-time highs, they will start to sell off. That's the only rationale I have. It can create some sell-off, and that sell-off will be quite quick.
Hey, Naval, what can we watch to when you say unwinding of the bond market? What can we specifically watch, like the 2-year or the 5-year or the bond market specifically? What can we watch to see this may happen on a quick basis?
It won't be available easily.
I know, that's what I'm trying to figure. I couldn't find much information on the web. Also, I was trying
That's
to
why I
research on
paid $2,000 for it a month.
which one do you pay for $2,000?
I pay. I cannot disclose that, but I do pay $2,000 for this information. And it works out.
Okay.
You can check it, you can compare it. Definitely. Like if you have been with me for quite a while,
Yeah.
you see all my levels.
Yeah.
Right?
I know.
So I have my facts behind me, but I cannot disclose few things. All right. So anything else?
Naval, what do you suggest for hedging in such scenario?
I said in the afternoon, have QQQ puts. Keep QQQ puts for your portfolio. If you have a 10,000 portfolio, make sure you have at least 10 to 15% $1,500 of puts.
Got it.
Hedging may be useless, but if market doesn't go the direction we want, at least you will have less loss. Maybe it will recoup your losses easily.
All
It's
right, thank you.
just make sure that yes, and it's not a bad thing to have hedges, because if there's a drop, let's say there's a drop of 3%, and you have a hedge, that gives you that kind of return which will cover for your losses. So there's always a good rationale to have a hedge in place.
Well, what kind of timeline would you have for the puts that you're looking for in terms of hedging? Like what, how far out?
I would at least take QQQ for December 17th. And I'll be looking at QQQ where open interest is high, which is 400 in the money. Puts, there was 410 as well, which were seeing some traction. 410 open interest. Either you can take 400 or 395. It's a choice. Like I would just take 2 or 3 lots just to safeguard anything I have on the long side. This gives me some cushion, because even priced in volatility is about 20% in QQQ. That's $20 move up and down at the end of December, which can be 380 to 420 plus minus both. So there's a good volatility which is involved here. And seed market is still holding at 4685 pretty nicely. The volume is not there. Usually by 11 o'clock, there is some volume. I don't know how many people, but I am a man of numbers. I keep track of these things, which may find a little odd to you, but let me just add futures. Okay, this is futures. Okay, this is 11:30, right? 11:30 candle. You have 1940, then you have 3000 volume. You can clearly see there is some volume. There's no volume here. Hardly any volume. There's still some volume here, but there's nothing, hardly anything here. And if you go, just compare it, there's hardly anything. You will still find something here, but there's nothing here, which clearly tells me that nobody's interested in this market at this time. With like how many trades? 140 full volume, and the last candle was 987. Before that, 1200, 1400. The entire volume, if you like add all of it, it's like 15,000 here in just 8 o'clock candle in the morning, and that's about it. So it's nothing is happening, and things will be much clearer right at 3:30 or 4 a.m. when Germany, I think 3 o'clock Germany opens, 3:30 Germany will show you. I'm waiting for a email from my subscription regarding the ECB. So I'm just waiting for that information. Once it is there, I'll share that information. That what is their context towards the inflation. Because they started with something, but they did not clear it. So I've returned a mail to my guy that, yes, explain it to me, what's they're doing. Once I have that information, I will share it. But do not be happy that it's 4690, tomorrow it will be 4700. Wait for 9:30 and let's see where it goes. I hope I answered you, whoever asked that. David, Delta, I prefer, like for options, let me just show you one more thing, and you can all do that on your option screens. Okay. You don't need ask size, bid size, open interest volume. You should also add theta. You should also add delta, right? And you can also create some custom columns based on your understanding, which I will show sometime later, but these are really, really important. Theta and delta. Just keep them here. And okay. Now, theta, I prefer around 0.4 to 0.3 if I get a theta around that with an IV of about 50 to 40%. I will try to have that option with me. Anything I did not add implied volatility. So implied volatility of 40% because I'm looking at puts of 400. Implied volatility here is 18%, so it's cheap. Delta of 0.52, it's good. So it's in the money. That's why delta is higher. But if you look at 395, delta is still in my range of 0.43. So I'll prefer for that. Yes, that's why I'm saying that it's better to have some hedges in place. And because VIX is, let me show you UVXY. UVXY is making a morning star. We are at the bottom of the trend and it's making a morning star. If we convert this into a weekly candle, it's that this has flat. It might spike. Look at VIX. VIX is like, it's making a shoe pattern, which I love to call that, which is something like here. And whenever you have, because we're almost right there, whenever you have there, just imagine you thumping a shoe on the floor, then something bounces. The dust bounces, something bounces. So this is something similar. It's not going below this area. It's holding this area, but it's getting tighter and tighter and tighter. So VIX high, market low. VMW. I'll
Do you
answer
have
your
an
question.
option for VIX?
VIX options are as VXX. You can have VXX options you can buy.
Okay.
Let me answer Spencer, and I'll answer SNJMJ about VMW. So Spencer is asking that yesterday Netflix closed above your level and never hit your stop. That is correct. And I closed my calls yesterday at 688. I have a personal 25% stop loss. I do not do a 25% stop loss because I don't know. I never felt comfortable with putting a stop loss in percentage terms. See, I prefer because when I'm making levels, by that time you may have some decay in your option and it's much more than 25%. If you sell it and you buy it again, then it will become some level of wash sale because if you had some previous. So I do not want to exit out of my options unless it breaks my level on a 30-minute candle and I follow that as my discipline. This has helped me a lot. Yes, David, you can buy VIX option, but then you need to have futures enabled. I don't know how many people have futures enabled. So that's what I would recommend. Keep a 30-minute stop loss candle and just continue. Keep trailing. VMW is struggling and struggling. It was supposed to break out with Dell news. It could not capitalize, and finally it's not looking good. It can come down to 119. And that's why I was looking to add it around 124, 125. It was not able to break out and hit the stop loss. That's why I got out of it. More time doesn't serve the purpose, but 2 weeks out, it's just that you need to decide your quantity. If you can take 2 lots and hold it, rather than having 10 lots and panic, I would recommend to do 2 lots. UVXY options, I will not recommend because that's a deteriorating asset class. Even if market goes down, you may not have UVXY going higher. Never ever invest in UVXY if you don't know that. Never ever invest in a depreciating asset class. So Spencer, you should take 2 weeks out, but define your quantity. And if you want to trade with 1 lot, that's totally fine, but exit that lot once either your stop loss hit or you are at least in 50% of profit. I prefer in the money option. No, it totally depends on what is the IV and what is the delta around that. It totally depends on, like for Apple, I always prefer in the money options because they're good. They're cheaper, they're quicker. Amazon always out of the money. So it totally depends. All right, guys, it's already 11:45. I need to wrap this up. Hopefully you are all enjoying this conversation, these connects. Just one request, share this to as many as people you want and let them come and share their perspectives. We're all here to share our thoughts and discuss. It's totally free, no charges. Just have more and more people so we can talk to each other. All righty.
Sure.
Thank you very much
you.
and have a good night.
Thank you. You too.
Bye.
Good night, Neville.
Bye. Good night.